Hey guys, I'm so glad that you're here with me. I just want to share a little bit about our shared reading routine in our classroom. We'll just give it a few minutes and wait for everyone to join us. I know it's going to be I'm excited about this, but I think you will be encouraged and you will see how simple it is to integrate shared reading into your balanced literacy routine. How was your day? There's a few of you in here already. Did y'all have a good day? You can comment in the comments below and then I can read them. Yeah? I'm so glad you are joining us. Yay! Thank you. Okay. Oh no, crazy. You're right. But it is almost the end, Angela. You can do it. You can make it. How many more days do you have left? Are you counting down yet? Oh, I'm so glad you had a great day. $17. Oh, that's just a little over 3 weeks. It's so soon. Yay! You can make it. I know you can. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me turn this around so you can see. Okay, I want you to be able to see my chart. Oh, I'm going to have to scoot back a lot. Okay, I just wanted to share just how we do shared reading in the class. Can you see all of that, guys? No? Yes? Okay. We'll just go with this. And y'all tell me if I need to adjust or if I need to move some more. Okay? Okay, great. I'm so glad. Okay, so shared reading is an important part of the Balanced Literacy Program. It is the perfect time for the students to join you and to share in reading with you. That's the difference between read aloud and read aloud. You, as the teacher, are modeling the reading. In shared reading, the students are reading with you. And in guided reading, the students are doing most of the work and you are helping them, reading with them as the guide. And then in independent reading, they are solo. So shared reading is a very important part of balanced literacy. I'm sorry, I'm shaking, my hand's shaking a little bit here. Let me try this. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you our weekly routine. Shared reading is one of our favorite times of the day in my classroom. Both my kindergarten kids and my first grade kids just absolutely loved it. It is easy to implement. It is a fun time for the kids because they get to interact with you. And it's a time that they are not sitting at their desk doing pencil paper work. So it's great. Okay, so I have a different task that I do with my poem every week. Oh, hold on. Let me rewind. Okay, to begin with, I have a poem for every week, and then each week I use that same poem for all 5 days. I really like to integrate, so it's easy for me to integrate science into my literacy block. So like right now, you can see that I have a poem that's about habitats. This poem, I like to write my poems for the most part on chart paper. Because then later I put it in a workstation where the kids can practice everything that we have done with the poem. So I like to write it on chart paper. Some other things you will need are a pointer, some highlight tape, which this is a little bit smaller than I prefer, but this is what I currently have. So this is what I'm going with, but it does the job. Sticky notes. And then colorful sticker dots are also something that I love to use. And I'm going to show you how too. Okay, so now let's get started with our routine. So on Monday, what I like to do is introduce the poem by either revealing only the title or sometimes if I'm not able to hide the rest of the poem, then I just we just discuss the title only. And what I've noticed is that my high readers who already are going to walk in the morning and see the poem are going to be able to read it. My on-level kids or my lower kids, sometimes that's not the case for them. And so it's okay. And regardless, if they read the rest of the poem without me, it's not the end of the world. So we start with the title, and we like to, it's a great time for us to make predictions, and I ask the students what they think the poem might be about. Sometimes we'll brainstorm words that they might find in the poem. And the next thing we'll do, then we will read the text, and without the tune. All of my poems are to the tune of a familiar song. And it makes it so much fun for the kids, guys, so much fun. And it's fun for me too. If you're a teacher who likes to sing and dance in your classroom, then that's another reason that shared reading is just a fun interactive time for you with your kids. So on Monday, though, we read it without the tune. And then we will use the pointer to track the text so that students are able to just become familiar with the text. That's the point of Monday. Something that I like to do too is, especially at the beginning of the year, my students who I know are struggling with one-to-one correspondence, who I know are struggling with tracking text, I will call them to come up to the poem, and they will use the pointer to track the text. Sometimes, even if they're having a hard time pointing to only one word, I will like to use the sticker dots, and we'll put like one dot under each word so they know this line, I'm pointing to 3 different words. So that's just a little tip that I like to do with them as we track the text sometimes. Another thing you can do is you can use sticky notes to cover up words in chunks so that the students have to practice sounding them out with you. And remember, shared reading is something that they are doing with you. You are inviting the students to share in the reading with you. And also, I love to use that time to model what to do when I get stuck on a word. So sometimes it's a great way for me to like squeeze in a short little decoding strategy and model that for the kids. And then we always like to go on a word hunt, and we look for words that we brainstormed at the beginning that we might find. So that's great. When we're done with all of that, we're done with shared reading for the day. There's no independent task for them. It's just a great fun time for us to interact. So then moving on to Tuesday. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, y'all can see it. Okay, great. Okay, moving on to Tuesday, we begin by rereading the text, and then this day we focus on sight words. So we'll use the highlight tape, or we'll use even the dot stickers sometimes to find words that we know, whether you call them sight words or word wall words. The students are eager to do that. And I love to let them come up and highlight the words themselves. And so, of course, they're like, me, choose me. Another thing that we like to do after we have read it and then found sight words, we like to go back through and we'll read it again. And when we get to a word that we have highlighted or that we've put a dot sticker under because it's a sight word, I, as the teacher, won't read it, and the kids will read it instead, because I know without a doubt they do not need my help reading that word. So that's a fun thing for us to do. And then that's our task for Tuesday. So again, there's nothing for them to do independently. They have shared in the reading with me. And so it goes pretty quick. All in all, the whole routine is maybe 15 minutes, sometimes shorter depending upon the length of the poem and the amount of words or however long the task for that day may take us. Okay, so then on Wednesday, we begin by rereading the text again. We focus on a reading strategy, whether it be predicting, connecting, inferring, visualizing, summarizing, or questioning. And this is the perfect time for me to model that strategy with my students and have them practice it with me. So for instance, in this poem, I might say, oh, after we read it, I might say, oh, guys, Mrs. Richardson is making a connection. In this poem, we talked about different habitats and we talked about an ocean. I have been to an ocean before. I know that when I went to the ocean, we were able to see sharks and fish and crabs crawling in the sand. Those are the animals that I remember seeing when I visited the ocean. I made a connection with this habitats poem. And then you can invite the students to share connections that they might be making also. And then that's the end of our Wednesday task with the poem. So then we move on to Thursday. And Thursday we'll begin by rereading the text. And Thursday is a favorite because that's usually when I introduce the tune of the song to the students. Sometimes if the words are difficult and I know they're going to be difficult words for them, then we will introduce the tune earlier in the week because that's just going to help with our fluency. But if not, then I'll hold off and I'll wait until Thursday to introduce the tune to the students. Also on Thursday, I identify the phonics skill that we're going to focus on in this poem and that we're going to discuss. It's a great time for me to remind them of a phonics skill that we've learned previously or to introduce something new to them and talk about. So for instance, in this poem, while I have, we focus specifically on AI words, another thing that I could do is just focus on vowel teams because there's AI and EA and OA all in this poem. There's even some there. I even see some more. There's some OU also. So you can focus on just one, or you can just focus on a rule in general and discuss all of them. So we will read the poem and we'll sing it and they will just be in heaven because they love it. And then we will go to the pocket chart and we will do a pocket chart sort all together. So like in this one, we are sorting by AI words, then the AI picture that matches the AI word, and then misfits. So all words and pictures that do not have AI in them. So sometimes students are able to do this almost independently for the most part, depending upon the time of the year. And at other times, no, I really have to just, completely take the lead on that. I like to pass out the cards though to the students and let them tell me, oh, I have an AI word, and then they'll read the AI word and then they'll come put it in the pocket chart. I have train, Mrs. Richardson. Okay, great. So they'll put in train, and then who has the train picture? Someone will come put in the train picture. And so then when we get to the end, then we'll discuss all of the misfits and we'll discuss why they are misfits also. Okay, so that's, yes, brown bag teacher, I'm getting there. You are exactly right. I see your comment. Okay, so then so that's Thursday. And when I'm done with the pocket chart with the sort, sometimes that day I'll put it in a workstation, whether for word work. Sometimes teachers have poetry stations, so you could put that with the poem, and that the whole setup together could be your poetry station. Or if you have a pocket chart station, this could be a pocket chart activity. I liked to put this in word work. So we would do this. I would just add a new sort every week. And so eventually, after we have done the sort together, it went in a little Ziploc baggie. I dropped it in the tub, and then they were able to have 2 sorts or 3 sorts, or, as the year went on, we had tons of sorts for them to do. Okay, so then Friday, our last day with the poem, we reread the text. Of course, we sing it because they love it. And then I'll pass out individual poems to the students, and they will use a yellow crayon to circle sight words. You also could have them circle the phonics rule that you've discussed. You can have them identify words with that. Another thing about the poem is sometimes, for my kindergarten kids at the beginning of the year, I would use a poem that already had pictures so that would help them remember what the poem was about. But other times, as the year went on with kindergarten, and then definitely with first grade, earlier in the year in first grade, then I would have them illustrate the poem. So it was a great time for them to practice visualizing also, and then them, make the connection that they wanted to make with the poem. So, did I say we use yellow crayons to find our sight words? If I didn't, I'm sorry, I forgot. They love doing that. So just like we use the highlight tape on the poem, on the big poem, then they would use a yellow crayon and pretend it's their highlighter on their paper poem. And then when we're done with the paper poem, then it goes in a folder that has brads, and by the I don't know, the end of 6 weeks, my kids were trained. Like they knew that poem that had holes in it, they knew how to open those brads, they knew how to close those brads. So I was not putting poems in folders because that would just, I could not do that every week for 25 kids. That would just make me crazy. So my kids were trained and they knew how to do that. So that was awesome. So they put their poem in their song and poem book folder, and then that folder went in their book tub, and they were able to read that during independent reading time. So it was a great way too for them to practice and build fluency, because there are things that are familiar to them, and then the collection just grows and grows throughout the year. So that is about it. Oh, I forgot one more thing, that you could do this on, you could do this on Thursday, or you could do this, on Friday, or if you just wanted to throw this like in a workstation, like after they do the sort, then they could do their own sort. So this is just a little something extra that we liked to do just to practice the phonics skill some more. So, I think that's about all that I have. I just, this is just something that I think is so valuable, and it's so important for the kids, and so many teachers, like we leave it out because, oh, it's just a little something. And, I know it only takes 15 minutes, but goodness gracious, I need 15 minutes for guided reading. And I get that because we are crunched for time, but this is a great way to not only integrate science, but to integrate your phonics and integrate poetry, and get your students practice sharing in the reading with you. So, good news, the great news. Whoops, I'm gonna, let's see if you can see me. Oh, there you are. Hi guys. Oh, thanks Jessie. I'm so glad that you love it. I love this. I've been looking for ways to spice up morning meeting next year. Oh, Barb, you're right. This is something that could go great with the morning message time, and your students would definitely be engaged. Oh, you typed some more. Let me see if I can see it all. Okay, the poems, you can buy them by monthly sets. The May set is now available, and there are 4 poems, so 4 phonics activities. And also in my product, you're able to find, what am I trying to say? Oh, the weekly, like I went into detail again. So in case you couldn't jot everything down, you're able to get to everything that I said, like our weekly routine, what we do on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. I went over again the materials that you'll need, all that jazz. So that should have you set. So you can find it in my TPT store. If you just go to my TPT store, it's Amanda Richardson. And then in the search, you can type shared reading, and it'll pull up the shared reading for May. And then there's also a bundle, a growing bundle, which is super on sale right now, guys, because not only is it 20% off, but then TPT is giving you an extra percentage off. So it's a total of 28% off. You can grab that thing today, because the sale is over today. Happy Teacher Appreciation. So anyways, if anybody has any more questions, I'll hang around for a while. And if not, it's no big deal. I'm so glad that y'all came. This was a lot of fun for me to share what was going on, what we do with shared reading in my classroom. It's just, the students love it. I love it. It really is so easy to implement and so easy to integrate. And like I said, science is my favorite topic, my favorite subject to integrate into the shared reading time. So thanks so much. I hope y'all have a great week. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Bye.